Well, good morning, everybody. It's the next day. Um, Been a little busy last night. I know I was kind of hoping to video some of the work I did on the car, but it was late last night when I decided to start on it. Trying to diagnose a loss of power in this Corvette. Ran the codes, had multiple misfire codes. It had a gas pedal positioning sensor code, and it had a mass airflow sensor code. Um, Changed the mass air sensor. We did all 8 spark plugs. We did plug wires. They were bad. The wires, nobody put dielectric grease or anything on them. I had to fight those wires because I broke those things to pieces trying to get them off. That was fun, but it wasn't too bad. It's easier to work on these Corvette engines than it is in a Chevy truck or SUV. But I got all of it done. Um, it's all put back together underneath the hood. I'm waiting on my cousin to wake up because she has the keys to the car. It won't let me in. Not like my car, where you can leave the doors unlocked and they stay unlocked. This thing here, you walk away with the key, it locks them automatically. I'll give you a little walk around on the car. It's a 2010 Corvette, 6.2 liter. It's got a little flaws on it. Very high mileage car. My cousin drives the crap out of this car. This is definitely a driver car. It's got new wires, new sensor right there. That's a brand new mass sensor. We'll walk around to the other side and I'll show y'all that I changed the wires and everything. There we go. There we go. He's got new wires. The plugs have been changed. All 8 wires and all 8 plugs have been changed on the car. I changed the hydraulic shocks on her hood because they were pretty bad. I had to use a wooden rod to hold the hood up when I was doing this side, but I was like, I'm going to stop what I'm doing and go ahead and change the shocks on the hood so it's not in my way. We did a cabin filter in it. It has a brand new one in there. And they're easy to get to, sorry. Right there's the cabin filter. That's the easiest cabin filter I've ever done on a car. But hey, this car's been pretty easy so far. I'm hoping changing these sensors, that what codes that popped up on my scan tool. And no, I didn't do no live data, which I should have. But yesterday she was going 100 and nothing trying to explain everything this car is doing, and it's just simple things. She loves this car, takes as best care as she can with the knowledge she has, and then working with people that she would assume that has the proper knowledge of these cars. They're old school mechanics. They don't know nothing of the newer modern cars where you gotta do computers, you gotta hook up to the diagnostic port, you gotta run the codes, you gotta understand, hey, you gotta be able to read the computer and what it's doing and what is not working properly, because the computer will tell you if you got the proper tools. You can't just go through it and like guess, oh, timing's off, oh, this is off, oh, this is not working, maybe we should change this and let's change this, and you're $1,000 and a couple grand in a hole, and you still haven't fixed the problem because you never hook a computer to it. It's common sense. I've been a mechanic for 15 years. I've been doing it for a long time, and it's common knowledge. Any good mechanic would know that when it comes to a modern car, you got to run a computer on it to find out exactly what it is, because 90% of the time the computer will tell you what's wrong with the car. Very simple. But she takes good care of it. And you want a shocker? This car has over 400,000 miles on it, and it still runs pretty good. Now she's been given the runaround on this car from people trying to steal parts off of it, taken it to a mechanic shop, a dealer at that, she said, and I'm not going to give out names of the dealer, but she took it to a dealership, and she claims that they tried stealing the car from her. They stripped it down, everything was ripped out of it, the wiring harness was in the trunk, the dashboard was pulled off, Motor was tore apart and parts put in the back of the car. And she literally had to go take the car from them and take it to a friend that she could hope that could put the car back together for her. And she did. And he did. So, I mean, he had enough knowledge to put the car back together, thank goodness. And then she was talking about how the car got flood damaged and insurance didn't want to total it. She took it to this dealership and they were supposed to fix the car. They were supposed to put a brand new motor, transmission, and all that stuff in because it got flooded. And they only replaced half the motor. They kept the original block and put new heads on it, or they kept the heads and and put a new block on it. I don't remember what she said it was. But they only did change some of the parts, and they kept the parts that the insurance company kept. And it's kind of crazy how they do that, but hey, we're in Houston, Texas. I can't believe how much she's gotten ripped off on this car, but she was determined. This is her first Corvette, and she was determined, and she's going to keep it, and she's going to take care of it, and she's trying her best. This car might have 1,000,000 miles before she finally gives up on it, but to be honest with you, I don't think she's ever going to give up this car. It's a great car. It runs great, drives smooth down the road. It has a little shimmy down the highway that she was questioning about, but it was a bent wheel. At 90 miles an hour and you get a little shimmy in the car, that's a bent wheel. Common sense. Pick up a piece of paper here. But I'm trying to help her out. I'm hoping by changing these parts after running the codes on it and knowing what's wrong with the car, I'm hoping that after we get all that stuff done, this car's going to be running at tip top. And she'll be happy with it because she says this thing's so sluggish. It felt decent for me, but not like Corvettes I've been. She should be scaring me in this car. And I'm the worst passenger rider in a vehicle because unless I have control of the vehicle, I'm nervous as heck. But when she gets up, we'll get started on that gas pedal and try to show y'all how to change the gas pedal in a Corvette. These cars here don't have cables that runs from the gas pedal to the throttle body. It's all computer controlled. And she had a code that was telling us that the positioning sensor on the gas pedal is bad. So we went ahead and went to the dealership yesterday, and she paid for a new throttle gas pedal. I'll show you the part. And we're going to change it out. She was supposed to leave me the keys, and she didn't leave me the keys. Here's the part. This is what we're going to change out. Right there's your little sensor and everything. It has your throttle positioning sensor and all that good stuff in it. Our gas pedal positioning sensor. And that's what's going bad. And it's making a lot of trouble for her in her car. And she's even complaining about how the car is acting funny around about, you know, it's wanting to lock up and it's feeling kind of weird and stuff like that. I think a lot of it has to do with that gas pedal, because your ABS and traction control system runs through that. So we'll find out. I'll give you all a heads up. Hang in there. Alright, we're going to start on this car. Right down here is the gas pedal. There's one bolt there, and that other one's going to be more of a challenge to get to, but we'll get it. And I'll show you what it looks like when it comes out. Ain't much different from the brand new one we got, but you'll see. Get right back to you. Alright, first start. Move out of the way. We're gonna go take it for a drive and see if it feels any different, because right now it's sitting there idle. You're not gonna notice anything. So, and there's a little rattle in the motor, so we're gonna figure out what that is. Be right back. Well, I'm back. We fixed it. I just needed simple things. The gas pedal helped. Mass air sensor helped. Doing a tune-up on it. She says this car hasn't driven like that for a while, and she was very happy at how fast the car is now. But while I was driving the car, she pointed out a rattling sound, and it sounds like a heat shield. I got the car up on a ramp. I know it's not much, but what she has here that I can work with, and it brings it up enough so I can climb underneath the rear and see if I can find anything loose. We might have to switch those ramps to the front and see if we can get underneath the front a little easier, and see if we can find where this rattle is coming. But I made a happy customer because the car drives very quick now. What it was doing was, when she would accelerate, the positioning sensor on the throttle pedal wasn't reading, and it wouldn't tell the car to downshift. So the car would go full throttle and ramp up the RPMs, but it wouldn't downshift to help it take off faster. By changing the gas pedal, the computer's able to read how much throttle she's giving now, and it downshifts and gets up and goes pretty good, like it's supposed to now. But here in a little while, I'm letting the car cool off for a couple hours because we got it pretty hot driving it earlier, and we're gonna let it cool off and get underneath and see if we can find this rattle, and we'll get back with y'all and show you what we find.